Hello, welcome to PAXTON ROAD TV. I am SUBSRCRIBE for life, and this is your PAXTON ROAD TV preview show for... Is it a game we got on? Arsenal, the North London derby at the weekend. Kicks off Saturday, 12:30 in the house. This is a little bit of a special show, but it's going to be a nice, calm, special show. We have got, joining me tonight, there we go, the usual suspect, as in SUBSRCRIBE at the top, and down south. He's a fellow of ours. He's a colleague of ours, but he's not a friend. He's not my friend, and he never will be my friend. But I like him. I like him a lot. So he comes up from the Arsenal Armory team.
What are we saying, boys? We all right?
We're good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. Can I just confess something?
Yeah, man. Confess what?
I got the call up and I was nervous. I thought, boy, going on Paxton Road. All right, let me cover up a little bit because, going on enemy turf and that. And if we go White Hart Lane, you got to cover up the Arsenal stuff. But now seeing there's only you two, hold on a minute.
Oh, no.
Look at this.
Backing it out.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 14 flavors for Brave.
He's got to take it itself.
Real bad man wear pink, yeah? That's what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start this stream, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, go and check if you're Spurs fans, you might not, but Arsenal Armory TV, go and check them out as well. We've done a preview show as well with them earlier today. It's quite fun. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more stuff to be happening over the weekend. Sid says, Sid, whatever you want to call it is tomorrow. What is it called now?
It's called Come and Join Us. No, it's going to be another one of, it's a 6-day special tomorrow. It's a 6-day special. So it's the Arsenal, well, not Arsenal, but it's the best 11 going into the game on Saturday. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, man, and I'm like, what are these people on? I'm telling you now, some people are smoking some heavy shit,
It's on. That's going
to be interesting. That's going to be interesting, actually.
So comes up. Yeah, how's life anyway? You know what I mean? Top of the league and all that. How's life treating you, sir?
It's all right being up there, isn't it? Like, it's back to what I used to know. It's been a little while since we've been up there, but it's nice when you're sitting up top pretty, just looking down at the guys behind you, trying to hold on to your coattails and that. You get me? So, do you know what? It's being, I'm a realistic fan, innit? So we've won the games we should have won. I know you don't win games on paper, but really we should be beating those teams there. The one big test people will say was Man United. We, I think, dominated the game, but this is what worries me playing you lot. I'll be honest, is your style is similar to Man United, where you don't play no football and it's dead football, but it's counter-attack, and we struggle against that. And you've got killers up front, so that is my one bit of fear. Is you will, if you beat us, you beat us how you beat us in previous years. It's soak up the pressure, counter-attack, and you could hurt us. So that's my one bit of fear.
We're gonna play like that.
But that's how you always play. You got playing like that all season. Like
I'm not gonna say we're not, but I'm just saying, how do you know? Yeah, he's trying to tell us how the game's gonna go.
It's how it's gonna pan out. It's and it worries me. Like again, it's Emirates. We normally have a good record against you at the Emirates. But it only takes your boys one chance to score. Whereas I think when I watch us, we keep a lot of possession, but we don't create much. And I said, I'm an honest man. You lot, your front three, as much as they're not playing as good as my front three.
Front four.
All right, you take four. They're not playing as good football as my four.
Man, what's wrong with you?
But your four are killers. Like Son and Kane are killers. Richarlison's looks like he's doing well for you lot, and Kulusevski I think's been a great signing. So that worries me because we are susceptible to counter-attacking football. Like that is our Achilles heel, it's our kryptonite. So. But it's at the Emirates, so we got to win. I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw right now. I'll be honest with you.
We was having this debate because, like I said, we was having this debate earlier. Me, Sid was on your channel with Tony. He was on there. Mr. Fox, I should call him. There was Niger and who else was it? It was Bobby, wasn't it? Was it Bobby?
Oh yeah.
And Bobby was saying some right stuff. He was saying, "Oh, not pleased with how things were going." He said, "Wasn't actually over them." And he said what was the classic one? He said, I think he said the game was affected by the music at the Emirates when you beat Brentford.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was some classic. You have to go back and watch it. Some classic lines in there.
Yeah.
I was like, hey. Anyway, you weren't too happy, but I was saying, I think you lot are playing very good football. Don't get me wrong. You know, you've got to win them games, which you have done. You come up against Man United, and that was a little bit, maybe a little bit, not a step too far, but maybe a bit naive in the way you probably approach that game. I don't think there's going to be naivety tomorrow. However, I do think Arsenal are going to go for us. I think Arteta wants to potentially make a statement. If he can get that first goal and maybe go on, and like he did last season, you know, win the game before halftime, you know, it is effectively, I think, one of these two scenarios for me. We get that first goal, it's going to be, as you said, counter-attack, defend, get you on the break, and maybe it could be two, similar to the Man United game, or you get that goal and it could be all hell breaks loose. I had no idea, but I'm excited anyway. Sid, what's your thoughts about the game Saturday before we get into the show?
You know what? I said this afternoon. I've said it many times. Any London game, whoever we're playing in a London game, whether it's Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea, it's not an easy game. One team can be at the top, one team can be at the bottom. But when that match comes, the gloves are on, right? Or in fact, the gloves are off and the fists are flying because everyone raises their game, right? And I don't know about you guys, maybe Gums, you might agree, not agree, but everyone raises a game against Spurs. Everyone wants to beat Spurs.
Likes you lot. No one likes you lot at
That's
all.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone raises the game. And that team could be playing the shittest ever, but against Spurs, you raise the game and it can go two ways. You can either come at us, fam, come at us, or we just come at you and it's a good game, or it's going to be a dead game. But I think a lot of people are going over the top. I mean, some of your guys this morning, I think it was an Englishman, Nigerian Englishman. He was like, if we lose, oh my God, I won't be happy with you. And I was like, listen, we're 7 games into the season. If we lose, I'm not bothered because I'd rather lose on Saturday if we have to and then go unbeaten for the rest of the season, come second, win the league, whatever, then win the game on Saturday and then start bottling it later on. So even for you guys, it's not over. Whoever loses on Saturday, it's not over. I mean, the thing is, you lot have had 2 tests, Man United and then Spurs. And if you lose them 2, then people are going to start talking and say, well, you've bottled it, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Both teams, for me, it doesn't make a difference who loses. None of them want to lose, but there's loads of time left for the season to go, man. Then we'll let you come to our ground and we'll batter you again.
That's one thing that's annoyed me is we're at Emirates first again.
Yeah.
Because I think later on in the season, when it is business end, what we saw last season, if that roles were fixed and we needed to win that game at the Emirates, it might have been a different story. We might have picked 4th, but going to the lane, you know, I'm not going to be rude on your channel. So yeah, going to the lane, it does. So you're right, Sid. To be fair, you can almost lose this. But again, one thing I was piggyback with what you said is for Arsenal, this year, it's what we've tended to do in the past is we drop points against the big teams, and then we drop points against stupid teams like Brighton's always a game. We Palace is another one. Southampton away, we always tend to drop points there, and it seems this year actually we're picking up them wins which we should be winning. So we could probably lose to the big 6, but if we beat the other 15 teams or whatever it is, we could probably still qualify for top 4 then. Because what you're seeing, Liverpool dropping points against teams they should be beating, Chelsea are dropping points. Like you lot dropped to West Ham, which last season it looks like a half decent result, a draw with West Ham, but this year how they're playing, you probably should be winning that. So yeah, I think we could lose this game, lose to Liverpool, but if we then knock over the next 5, you're probably not going to read too much into it because Chelsea, Liverpool, and yourselves drop points against teams you should be beating. City have dropped points to who is it? Newcastle and
Aston Villa.
Yeah, like their teams they should be knocking over. So yeah, if we can keep knocking over those teams and then lose to you or lose to Liverpool, it's not the end of the world. But for us, I think we have a point to prove because again, we're going to get the same old Arsenal. You come against one of the big clubs and you fall short again. So and we're a young team, so we probably need to get one of those wins against one of the so-called big 6 just to prove to the young boys that we can go to these places and win. So yeah, I think that's where we have a little bit more riding on this than you guys. Do you know what I mean? You've been there before. You lose to us, you beat City. Do you know what I mean? Your record against the big 6 is kind of up and down, whereas we've kind of always been, you know, they do the head-to-heads to compare the big 6 against each other. We've always kind of been near the bottom of that table. whereas you guys normally get good results against City and other teams in and around you. So I think your bogey teams like Chelsea, innit? They're the ones who always do you over. So yeah, whereas we get beat by all of you lot. You know what I mean? For the last few years, I'll be honest, we've been at the bottom of that form table with the Big Six for a long time. So I think that's why there's more riding on it for us. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% agree. I think for us, I'll take a draw now. 100%, I'll take a draw now. Obviously, you know, you're going to be with Chess. We're on our channel now. I said earlier on your channel, I'm going to play a little bit with my head and, like, you know, counted the draw 2-2. I might have a little bit of it because we're keeping our little score lines here as well. So don't forget, Sean, send your prediction in. Darius, send your prediction in. Deji, don't forget to send your prediction in. Me and see, they're going to put ours in here as well. But we're going to do this. Let's get on with the show. Welcome everybody who's watching. We've got Neptune, the Mystic in the house as well. We've got somebody's name I can't pronounce because I can't read Korean, but we've got South Korea in the house as well. Kevin Murray, as usual, audio artisan is with us. Pav, who made her appearance on Talking Points on Monday. Very good to see you in the chat as well. David Clark, as always. Right, let's get into this show as we would do. Full layout. Let's get that last comment off before we can do it. So obviously the game, as we know, Arsenal versus Tottenham. It is the North London derby. It is the first of the North London derbies, and it is at the Emirates. And so, Gamza, top of the league you guys are. And I was saying earlier, because of that fact, if Brighton are the only team that could go above any of us, the others can't. So again, we've got a little bit of a room to play with. As you look at that table now, what's your biggest surprise? Obviously, Liverpool. We see Liverpool in and around where they are. Do you expect there to be much changes over the next few weeks in terms of games, because there's so many games coming up? How do you think this table is going to shape up in the next few weeks?
Do you know, we got you and Liverpool next too. So we could be looking at something completely different in 2 weeks' time, if I'm honest. But yeah, Fulham, they've surprised a lot of people. And yeah, it's quite nice to see them up there. Brighton, I think, again, they've had a change of manager, so that could affect them. So yeah, I do think top four in 5 weeks' time will be probably, I don't know if United will be in there. Maybe United can get it. Yeah, I think it would be Arsenal, Chelsea, and City. Arsenal, Tottenham, City would be that top three. And then maybe United, or who knows what Liverpool are going to be like when they come back from international break. So yeah, I think you might start seeing a bit more shape with Liverpool and Chelsea maybe overtaking Brighton and Fulham. But yeah, I don't see much difference in there really, and honestly, I think it's a competitive league, isn't it? So
very much so.
Yeah. I think the top three will stay the same. I think it will change order. Don't get me wrong, but I think there will be the three that are up there.
I think you're right. I think Man United, if they go, Sid was saying earlier that he thinks, and for some, you know what, I'm beginning to see that more and more. I think Man United are going to do a job on City. For some reason, I just see him beating them at the weekend, and I think they're on a bit of a roll. If he can get results like how he's playing, he's completely gone away from how, you know, Ten Hag would normally play if he was in Holland, but it's working. So I think Man United, if they don't play Harry Maguire, they might do something. You can see from the results, from the actual games played, very, very close in terms of the stats. You guys have scored 17, conceded 7. We've scored 18, conceded 7 as well. On to the next slide. These are the games for the weekend. Obviously, it kicks off on Saturday. Arsenal versus Spurs. We have Bournemouth, Brentford. We have Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Fulham, Newcastle, Liverpool, Brighton, Southampton versus Everton, and West Ham Wolves. Then on a Sunday, we have Manchester City versus Manchester United, the other derby of the weekend, and Leeds versus Aston Villa. Let's come back on screen to see where we are. Of those games then, none of them really matter to me apart from the top one as we talked about. But I guess the Man United derby would be the other game to maybe look out for. I guess, you know, looking at it, Crystal Palace, Chelsea might be tasty as well.
Yeah, I'll enjoy that watch. I'll enjoy that. And Palace do need a result, because as much as they've played good football and given people challenges, they're down there, aren't they? Like, I thought they were higher up than when I saw them earlier. They were like bottom 5, I think. So they need a result. It's all good and well playing good and being hard to beat, but you need to pick up points. So
you do.
That could be a good challenge. And
this now, as we talked about, a lot of games in this month. You lot have got a lot of games. I know we've got quite a few games, including.
Somebody said 13 or
9? Not in 1 month. No chance. No.
Is it 9?
Something City. I think it's 9 or 10. It's something City.
We've got 9. Because Arsenal have got 9 as well, so I think we've got 9.
We've got one extra though. Oh no, because they cancelled the Man City game. Man City agreed to move a game for us.
Yeah, that's a lot of games in anybody's book anyway. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Sid, you know, I look at those other games and nobody. I don't even think, apart from Arsenal, because I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to give you your props. Arsenal, in terms of how the football's looking, is the best football. Manchester City don't even look like they've fully clicked. Although saying that if they do fully click with De Bruyne and Ivan Drago, then we're all in problems. We've all got problems. Everybody in any league in the world. But at this moment in time, you know, I think, you know, seeing some of the results that City have had, they're not exactly firing. But again, moving on from that, I think we need to concentrate on the top two teams. So let's have a little bit more of a look at what we have in terms of form guide. So this is a form guide. Again, very similar. We've only dropped the points in the last 5 games against West Ham, and you lost against Manchester United. Does this mean anything? Gumza, is form going into this game of any sort of measuring stick guidance for what could potentially be the result on Saturday?
Not for me. I think if you guys were the form team and we were not saying struggling to find form, because I'm not saying you're struggling to find form, but you're not playing the most fluid football like I've seen Spurs play. I think that might play into it, but we're the form team at the moment in terms of football. Even though we lost to United, we've dominated most games, but I can't get away from your front four. So it only takes half a chance, bad pass from Granit or Xhaka getting robbed in the middle when Kane and Son are off, and them two are killers. Like, they're absolute killers. So I think form kind of goes. Form favours us, but at the moment, I can't see past it with Tottenham. Like, you lot could have a stinker, and as long as you lot are at 0-0, you've got a chance. Do you know what I mean? And we've seen how referees referee these games. You always get stupid penalties against us.
Oh,
like
don't start putting it out there already. See, he's trying to put it out there already.
You can already see what it is. Like,
Sam, what did they say this afternoon on the Arsenal channel?
Do you know what I mean?
We've got Anthony Taylor as the referee, and he gave us 2 penalties in the final. He's won us 2 cups. He's Silver Fox said, and he got a Chelsea player sent off. So they're loving this ref on Saturday. So don't use
he does it. He likes Tottenham, Arsenal. Then it's Arsenal. Then Chelsea. He hates Chelsea that much. He just favoured Arsenal that game. When it's you, man, now it's a different story. So we Joyers. I think I remember last season Rob Holding was just, you know, sometimes a cool head's needed. Like, he came out firing. If he wanted to make such a point, he got himself caught up in a whole heap of palaver. And again, that's not what you need in this. We saw it against Liverpool when Arteta decided to wind up Klopp, and the Klopp reacted to it, and that didn't end well for receiver. So I think hopefully we've taken them 2 lessons and just focus on what we got to do, because that's the one thing I like about this Arsenal team at the moment. It's we're approaching every game the same. We're going to dominate the ball. We're going to be the better team. You've got to come and beat us. And that's kind of what I grew up with Wenger. It was, this is our way of playing. Yes, we're going to win. Yes, we're going to lose. But this is our way. Whereas last few years, especially under Emery, he's changing tactics every game. Oh, we're playing this team. We've got to be more defensive. Like, no, actually, we're Arsenal. Let's go out and play on the front foot. So it might be easier for you not to come up and get tactic against us, because we're going to play the same way.
And that's exactly what I want. And I want Arteta. I want Arteta to kind of, you know, get really confident, because he's obviously confident now. You know, he's only lost 1 game, and you're playing good football, and again, we can't take that away. So he should be confident, and he should be confident with his team. The only thing I would say, I'm not sure what the press conferences say. I didn't get to watch all of Conte's today. Injuries. If there's any injuries, particular players, when we see the lineup, that will determine for me how that game is going to develop. I think we've got a little bit more scope for us to have players out in terms of midfield, particularly up front as well. In defense, we're not good. So if we get major like Romero out, or, you know, I hate to say it, Ben Davies or something like that, we are kind of like, you know, scratching around. We've got Longlet to come in, but our wing backs, as we know. But Sid, we talk about the referee. Is he going to be that much of an influence on the game?
Before we talk about the referee, there's 2 things, I just want to say to Gumza, right? And it's a song. It's going to be a song. You might only get 1 shot, so make it count, because you might never get this moment again on Saturday, And secondly, you mentioned your form, is good. But remember one thing, form is temporary for you guys. class is permanent for us guys. Remember that?
Sid's throwing shade. I didn't think you were going to start throwing shade so
I know, I'm
soon.
shocked. It's all right. It's all right.
You know what? Honestly, I think Anthony Taylor's a good ref, right?
I think he's.
I think he's one of the top refs in, and he's done the World Cups, he's done Champions League finals, so he's, I think, the right referee to referee the game on Saturday. Now, what Silver Fox was saying about, well, we've won 2 cups with him, blah blah blah. You've not won 2 cups because of him. You've won 2 cups because on the day you were the better team. You didn't, you know what I mean? So I think he's gonna have to be on it.
100%. I hope he lets the game flow.
Yeah.
But just make sure he keeps an eye on Son's elbows, because these things hit you flowing better than water. So
we don't
that's
need
all
no
I'm
elbows,
asking
mate.
for. Is
Just,
no, but to be fair, I think there has to be an element of, it's a derby. You have to let certain things go. Not saying like crazy, reckless Gary Neville tackles on Reyes, but do you know what I mean? Like the game's it's going to be passionate. It's going to be loud in there. Like I said, this is probably the best Arsenal we've seen in a long, long time. Tottenham.
For me, it's the most physical Arsenal I've seen for a while, because it seems like you can go toe to toe in terms of that physical. I looked at the size of some of the players the other day in that game against Brentford, it was, and I was like, matching them up size for size. So that's going to be interesting, because our team is pretty big as well. So I guess that physical side of the game, the referee does have to let it go. We'll soon know.
Let the game play. Like, but again, just make sure you monitor the elbows, because that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Because the thing is, if in the first 15 minutes you start booking them and whatever, then he's gonna lose control of that game. Because the fans will be on his back, especially if the fouls are going against Arsenal. The fans will be on his back, and then he's gonna end up doing something stupid.
Got to react,
you know what I mean. So
let's just hope that it's not a controversial. There's always going to be talking points in the game. We know that, but obviously last season it was the Rob Holding thing with the Son. This season, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how the game pans out. Let's have a look at some more stats. These are the season comparisons so far. Obviously, in red, that's saying the more positive side of things. So obviously, first position, won 6 games, we've won 5. No draws for Arsenal. We've drawn 2, lost 1. Obviously, we haven't lost a game. This is interesting. Average goals scored per match. Obviously, we scored 18. We scored more goals than Arsenal have. So we're 2.57. Average goals conceded, both the same. 1 more clean sheet. Arsenal have 3, we have 2. Big chances created, so 2 per match against our 1.43. So again, we're just about 1.5. It's not massively different. What I think people don't like about not necessarily us, is we're very direct. We get the ball, we transition that ball quickly from back to front if we can. We do have possession, and again, we're not a possession-based team per se, but we do keep the ball, and we can keep the ball, and we can build attacks. I just think that Conte, because of the style of play and because of the players that we've got, as you said, in terms of our front lineup, we're playing to our strengths. We're playing this kind of like mid to low block. We're then coming out and then blitzing and trying to create opportunities when teams are pressing us a little bit further up the pitch, which is what I hope Arsenal do a lot, because they've, on average, and this is one of the stats that came out earlier yesterday for me, is that Arsenal are playing the highest line of any team in the Premier League this season. Again, the results show that that's probably a good thing, but in terms of a style of play for us, it's ideal. It's absolutely ideal. So, recent meetings.
Sam, you gave the game away there, though.
What?
If you go back 1 slide.
Yeah.
Read down from our first 3 stats. That's what we want to happen tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Look at the first 3 numbers. Going downwards.
Good old 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see that. And I hope Arsenal play a 1-6-0. That would be great as well. we might definitely win. Anyway, these are the recent meetings. The last result we know about that, the 3-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Gumza. It's no longer the Lane, but we always know it as the Lane. But it's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. At the Emirates, 3-1. We know about that game as well. It's always home form. Form again. We go back to March 2021. Arsenal win 2-1. I think, was that the goal we scored the Rabona? Was that the Rabona goal?
Yeah, the Lamela.
Rabona. I remember that one, and we lost the game. And then Spurs again, going back 2022 0, and Spurs again 2-1. But if I go further on the Arsenal's results it shows. So again, it's not like, you know, you can't bank on this being an away win. You can't bank on anything like that. But what I will say is it's going to be an interesting game of tactics. Gamza, how do you think Arteta's going to set up? And then how do you think Conte's going to set up as well?
It's going to be more of the same, innit? It's going to be beautiful free-flowing from Arsenal. Park the bus, park the coach, park everything you can from Spurs. I do think it's what they say in boxing, innit? Stylistically, it's probably a beautiful matchup, and it's probably more in Spurs' favour in terms of we kind of will play into Spurs' hands, where we will hold the ball. Like you said, we have the highest line, and that we have played a lot higher this season. It's been nice to watch. We're pressing nice and high. We're winning the ball high, but like we saw against United, it only takes one mistake for them to open us up. And I've said it a few times on the stream. The killers, like they hurt us all the time. I'm so sick and tired of Son and Kane. Like when I mean I'm desperate for these men to come out of the Premiership, I am begging every season. I'm looking around thinking, don't someone need a striker? Like someone got to take this guy out of the league now. Like I've had enough. But yeah, like that first goal is going to be important because again, like you said earlier, Sam, if you lot get it, it just means we can just sit in here, break us down, come and break us down. And the more we got to try and break you down, the more spaces will open up for you to hit us on the counter. And again, it's not my favorite style. Like I watched the Leicester game, and for 60 minutes, I wasn't impressed at all with Tottenham.
It wasn't a nice game. I was there at the stadium. It wasn't nice. But when we scored, it was great.
And then that's what you have coming off the bench, and that is the difference. Like as much as I advocate for Nketiah, I like Nketiah. Him coming off the bench compared to Son coming off the bench, like it's a big difference in it. Let's be honest. So yeah, and I think any of your boys, I'm not sure. Someone said earlier, Kulusevski's injured.
Yeah, it appears Kulusevski's out with a hamstring, but
okay.
He hasn't ruled him out because this is the thing. I haven't seen all of the the press conference, but he did say he was a doubt, and it's been a doubt. Someone's saying he's out. Whether or not that's
50-50, Sam, from what I've heard.
Well, he's playing then. I think Conte's he's up. He's trying to do that. He might be on the bench, but he's certainly going to be in and around that matchday squad. I don't mind who starts out, to be honest with you, if it's Kulusevski or Richarlison. Richarlison, obviously confident from his exploits in the international break, so he's got some goals behind him.
Who did he bench in that game?
Huh?
Whose place did he take in that Brazil squad? You know,
it's all right. Edu dealt with that for us. You keep laughing. Our boys are fresh, mate. We've had a good 2 weeks off.
Somebody, son of God. Does somebody call the Son of God? Jesus. Jesus.
He's had a nice They've had a nice 2 weeks off. All them Brazilian. Eddie done us a favor.
You know what? Sometimes having them 2 weeks off, might not be a good thing.
Sometimes, if you're playing well, you want to play football. If you're playing well, you want more matches. So
exactly.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think more of the same. I think it's very much Prince Charming versus Hunchback, and we'll see what happens after that, innit? So
it started so well. And it's like beginning to go downhill now. But anyway, let's have a look at the head-to-head in the Premier League. 60 games played. Arsenal have won 22. Spurs have won 15. Arsenal 17 at home. Spurs 13 at home. 5 away victories and 2 away victories. So this is why, if you was a betting man, you wouldn't bet on Spurs winning this game in the games that we played over the course of 30 years. We haven't won there too many times in the Premier League, although the cup games you might look at. But
this is Conte's first at Emirates, though, isn't it?
Yes,
because it was thing, yeah, and that's what. Again, I can't take much into that 3-1 from last year because that guy you had before, that imposter, Lucas Moura's dad, as someone calls him, like, yeah, it's a different Spurs, and it's a complete different Spurs than what
we shall not mention that name on stream live. We don't mention that name anymore. It's gone. Sid, ones to watch. I've got my views as a couple of players. There's going to be a lot of players to watch, to be honest with you. But there might be some key matchups. I've got a key matchup that I think is going to be critical for this game, in my opinion. But couple of names. Sid, what's your couple of names in terms of Arsenal's ones to watch and Spurs one to watch?
Arsenal, I think Saliba's one to watch for me because not only is he defending very well this season, he's also getting goals as well. Has he got 2? Or he's got 2,
yeah.
2. Yeah. So you lot are quite aggressive and quite decent at set pieces as well. So for me, Saliba's the one to watch. Forward, and do you know what? for the rest of them, I am not that particularly concerned, to be fair. I'm not particularly concerned because there's a lot of players there that are hit and miss at the moment. Odegaard's hit and miss. I don't know if he's even fit to play on Saturday. Smith Rowe's out, and he's always done well against us. Martinelli, maybe, if he gets a start, might be one. And Jesus. But again, Jesus is not done last 1 or 2 games. He scored last week, but he's been misfiring on and off. So for me, I think that's Saliba's going to be their main threat. And for Spurs, there's a reason why I wore this top. Everyone keeps going on about Son, Kane, Kulusevski, right? Perisic. But what we've got to remember tomorrow, Hugo is top of his game at the moment, right? A couple of top, even them 2 saves he pulled off of Leicester. He's not played in this international break. The rumours are, and he's not been denied, but he might not be playing on Saturday. However, the reason I've worn this is because the replacement.
You got Foster, didn't you?
Kept 3 clean sheets against Arsenal, and Arsenal don't like playing with him because he plays blind. He plays worldly against Arsenal. So my one to watch is if Lloris is injured, Fraser Forster, mate, number 1. I'm telling you.
I like that shout. I like that. Darius was like saying, because I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this on stream, but I had to go. Darius was like saying about, I was saying Raw's been playing well defensively. He's not the most attacking or the best attacking wing back in our club, in my opinion. But his defensive stats back up why Conte's been playing him. Darius is saying, I've been twerking for Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is what his name should be. Don't see this brother. Where is he?
Don't worry about that. He's our first sub, mate. Don't worry about Tomiyasu, boy.
Tomiyasu, Gumza, not Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu, because I don't know where he is. Never seen him before. Not many times.
Yeah,
so,
just remember last year when he pocketed Son. Just remember that. Like, Son knows who he is. Honestly, Son knows. Aren't you, boy?
One more fact. Just one more before I let you go. On Forster, last week, I think it was, Liverpool's contingency, all their players, and the training team behind Klopp turned around and said, the one goalkeeper you've been impressed with, and they've said Fraser Forster. They said that man's ball skills on the floor, they're saying they've never seen a goalkeeper improve as vastly as he has, and they were shocked. So this is coming from, so
come on,
it's going to be interesting.
Like who would you put in goal if Ramsdale wasn't in there?
I don't even want to say it.
But Leno, oh no, he's not there now.
I don't want to say it out loud, boy.
Your backup comes out.
Simply the best, man, like Turner. I hope we get more of an Ike than a Tina, boy. So aggressive, but it's we got Matt Turner, boy, Matt Turner. So. Yeah, hopefully Ramsdale could see out the season. I'll be honest, man. That one didn't make no. I think that was a gentleman's agreement with Leno to say he can go because it didn't even make sense for that money we got for him to sell him. So I think it was a respectful thing. Like, actually, you've been a good servant. You ain't kicked up a fuss when you've been benched. Like, we'll allow you to move. So, but yeah, that one didn't make sense.
That one could come back and bite you.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what cost us last year as well. We didn't replace some of the players we let out and. Even like Maitland-Niles going out on loan, like just before deadline day and not getting a centre mid in just didn't make sense. Like, yes, he's not as good as what you might want, but actually he's better than what we've got in the club because we ain't got no one else in the club. So, that one didn't make sense. But can I jump onto my?
That's exactly what we want to do. Your ones to watch, or one to watch from each team.
So for Arsenal, I'll be honest. Like we're good going forward. Like if we're clicking. But the one you've got to watch is Partey. If you can stop Partey, then you kind of stop Arsenal. He makes everything tick. He creates a lot of the overloads. He beats the first press. He receives the ball off the back line. He does all the dirty work. And then these Xhaka lovers can then gas, Xhaka run forward with the ball. And it's like, you don't understand football because without Partey doing what he does, Xhaka is non-existent. And you see it when Partey disappears. Xhaka's now not the Xhaka you see when Partey's next to him. So, yeah, for me, if you can get around Partey and stop him, I think you probably kill a lot of our attacks because he's the one that finds these boys in good pockets in order to play forward. So I think that's all you got to do is stifle that, really, and honestly, like stop the surface into him. And you can see our team; we just look so much calmer when he's on the pitch. Not saying he's perfect, he makes mistakes, but there's something about that guy when he plays. We're a different team. So I think if you can stop that, that will help you massively.
Is there not an injury dealt with Thomas Partey for the weekend?
Well, I think he obviously played our last game against Brentford. He then didn't really travel. They was in London, and he pulled up in the warm up. But they said it wasn't bad, but it was a precaution. So I think he will play. But again, I don't even know if he's fully fit. And I think this will be our downfall this year. We didn't get cover for him, right? Even like we didn't need to replace, as much as I think there's a lot better than Xhaka out there. The biggest issue we have is if we lose Partey more than getting someone better than Xhaka in. Because you can see we can win games with Xhaka in that team. But when Partey goes, that's a big loss. So I think that would be our biggest downfall if it all falls apart this season. I think it would be that position there, that the defensive midfielder. For you guys,
take your pick, Gamza.
You got the killers. I'm not going to call out the killers because they do what they say on the tin, innit? Let's be honest. But I think the player I like the most in your team, to be fair, I like Romero. I think he's different level. But I think Højbjerg, man, I like Højbjerg guy. Like he's a boss. I give it to him. I like the guy. Like I think he's crucial. I think if he, and I've seen him play games anyway, he's just dominates everything. And I think if he's on that kind of form, I think he's a problem for us as well. And yeah, I like Højbjerg, man. So I think he again, and I guess kind of the battle, isn't it? It's the midfield battle. When we beat you at our place, we dominated the midfield. But I think that's the key. I think if you can nullify us a bit in them areas there and slow us down a bit, you front three do what they're going to do in it. Like I don't think, I hate it. I don't even want to praise up them, man, but I can't stop. Like
it might not be a front three. It might be the 3-5. I'm hoping it goes to the 3-5. I want Basuma to come into that so he can
really
play
parking it.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. If we can score goals. But what we can do now is if we play tight, we can change games. As you can see, if you play a 3-5-2, you potentially got two killers on the bench, Kulusevski and Richarlison, which you can change your formation. You can even bring Kulusevski on as a wing back if you really wanted to get all four in a different system. But the fact is, we cannot allow you guys to get ahead of steam up. If you get a goal early and it's like, the crowd's behind you, it's going to be a hard, long day for us. We need to keep that crowd quiet. The only way I can see us keeping that crowd quiet is block up that midfield. Hence the reason why I think the game's going to be probably one out wide. And therefore, looking at my ones to watch, this is why I've gone for initially. Here we go. Come on, technology. There we go. Back. How do you say? Bukayo Saka. I think on that right-hand side, he's going to have a big matchup against this guy if he plays on the left. And I think this is going to be the key to this match. Both of them are going to go forward. I think Perisic is going to want to go forward, but he's going to have to defend well. He's going to have our left-sided centre-back play well because, Arsenal can get into them little pockets. You could see Odegaard popping up in there. You could see, the overlaps from the wing-back, the full-back who possibly could it be tomorrow for your Cedric? Would it be Cedric tomorrow?
Ben White. No, Cedric's staying far away. After what happened last week, he's staying far away, man. Man want to get touch tight in man's bottom and set pieces and that. No. Stay away. You stay wherever it is. Come in the crowd. You can take my seat, boy. You can take my ticket, mate. You stay away from that pitch, Cedric. No, I don't mind Cedric, but it's one of the things you just got to be careful in the box, and you in a big game like that. But I think that is a good matchup. I'll be honest. And
it's going to be.
Saka's one of them ones. I think people see his numbers. I think he hasn't been performing that well this season.
He's a problem.
Disagree.
He's a problem.
He's a starter, and he beats the first man, the second man, and it opens up everything for everyone else. So that would be a good battle.
But come 2:15 on Saturday, there may be. You ready? A Partey political broadcast by the Højbjerg party.
And the thing you mentioned about Højbjerg, he's a bit Marmite in the Spurs community, I guess. Some people are like,
people don't like him.
I'm not. I love everything about. He has some games where you're thinking to yourself, he's not at his best today, and he does make some these parts. I've seen him just do something. However, his overall game for what he brings on the pitch, he's basically Antonio Conte on the pitch. He was Jose Mourinho on the pitch as well. He's the manager's mouthpiece in the team. He drives everybody. You can see everything about him, and he looks like he's about 4 or 5 pounds lighter. He just looks a fitter player, and really surprised that, you know, we've not seen more of Basuma, but I can understand why, because Højbjerg has stepped up his game and Bentancur complements that. So those two together, if we stay in the 3-4-3, it's going to be a hard time for Basuma. If we go to a 3-5-2, which is what I want to see us do sometimes, is the ability to have that. So, you know what I mean? Just that change. Before we go into the score predictions, we just need to do this. This is our internal thing. You might want to look away at this one, Gumza, because it don't really matter to you. But I'm going to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? After round 7, let's see what we've got in terms of... Oh, Deji. Oh, he's only played
that does not surprise me in the slightest. The guy is mad, bro. That don't surprise me at all. I'm
going to give Deji a little bit of props on this. He's only played 2 rounds out of the 7. Right. So, you know what I mean? To get 4 points is okay. It's 2 points every round. However, 3K is not doing too well. 8 points so far for 3K, having played 7 rounds. Oh, dropped a little bit, didn't you? Because he was ahead of me last week.
Gumza, what you've got to remember is when Sam's this excited, right? It means he's either number 1 or number 2. This guy, you know.
I'm number 2. Ooh. I did get the correct score. Correct score. I got the score in terms of the result, actually, and I got a couple of the goal scores. That's the reason I got the extra point and gone above you, Sam. Sorry, Sam, Sid. But
Sean.
Wow.
Damn. He's on top. He's on top. He's getting some score lines in there. He's got some predicted. He got some goal scorers in there. So Sean Hurl is top of our leaderboard at the moment on 17. I'm going to make sure I'm winning this at the end of the season. Anyway, that's another sideline. Comments again. Who have we got in the house? Richarlison, Gumsa. Richarlison.
I think it's
Richarlison. I think it's not right. Gumsa, where will Arsenal perceive Tottenham's weakest position to target?
Emerson Royale, if he starts, and then who's playing next to him at the moment? Who's playing right centre back?
It will be Romero.
You need him that side. I think there and the left centre back. Like just because of how we overload one side, we have Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White all occupy that like our right channel. So if Perisic doesn't track back or switches off, we will have a 3 against kind of 1 or 2 overload out there, and that's kind of where we could hurt you. But I definitely think Emerson Royale would be the one we look to target, man.
Is this the same Ben White who plays as centre-back and plays really well for Arsenal, but Harry Maguire, who doesn't play for Man United, gets ahead of him in the English squad?
And we've all seen how that ended when your boy was playing next to him. So, yeah, I'm glad my boy didn't go over there because
everybody looks bad when he's playing next to everybody. Even the people in the stand look bad when
he made Varane look bad last season, boy. Yeah, I was freaking out. No wonder Varane was always injured. I would have done the same thing, boy.
Definitely got to have a this week. If I'm playing with Harry Maguire in a 2 as well, God damn, that's just the worst thing in the world. Man United, and there's Amondi, come on now, you must now jump off that bloody Harry Maguire. How many times has he defended Harry Maguire this season and last season? I can't believe it. Amondi, get off it, man. Seriously.
Yeah, you got at one stage you got to wake up and see sense in it, and
you got to wake up and smell the salt, haven't you?
Smell the salt, the coffee, the tea, whatever you need to smell, just smell it, man. Right, last part then. This is it. We were gonna all get our predictions in here. I know what this is all. I'm just gonna play a little bit strategic, but I've also got to be playing with my head. But it's going to be a bit of a hard one, this one, I think. I'm going to go first on this score prediction. I think it's going to be a tactical game. I really do. As much as I think Arteta's going to go for it, I think he's going to have a way of playing in terms of that forward line. I think, as you mentioned, that overload on that right-hand side, that's where I think our problem is going to be. If we need to sort that out. We've got Perisic, but then we've got potentially Ben Davies as our left centre-back. We've only got 2 midfielders if we do the 3-4-3. This is why I'm saying the 3-5-2 is almost critical for me to stop that. But we shall see what Conte does. All that being said, I still think it's going to be a tight one. I said 2-2 on your channel, but I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs. I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs, and I'm going to say the goal scorers. Son and Richarlison. I think Richarlison is going to be nasty in some way, shape, or form. Going to come on in this game and just upset Arsenal fans and upset his compatriot Gabriel Jesus. Comes up.
Oh, you coming to me next?
Yeah, leave Sid for last.
I will go.
Talk your shit, man. Don't you know what I mean? Back your shit. Don't come on. We don't know there's all Anthony Taylor in the bar. No, talk your shit, man.
Boy, I'm on your channel. I'm coming with chest. Yes. I've got the shirt on.
Like it.
This one's got the game. It's not the away fixture. It's the reverse. So that might happen later on in the season at 3-2, but not for this game, rude boy. Lloyd, sorry, this Arsenal's name's first on this one, so a different answer. I'm going. You lot will score. The referee will make sure you lot score. So 3-1. Going 3-1 Arsenal. Yeah, I'll go 3-1 Arsenal. I think for you guys, it's Harry Kane. It's always Harry Kane. For us, it will be. I don't even care who scores for us. If we score 3 and we win, it could be Granit Xhaka hat-trick. I don't give a damn, but I'm celebrating. So I think Jesus will grab 1. I think Saka will grab 1. And yeah, just Xhaka, just to rub it in. And Granit Xhaka, I would love it if Granit Xhaka scores in this one. But yeah, I think 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. I wrote it down. I'm looking at it, but yeah, fair dues. You know what I mean? I'm still looking at it, but yeah, fair dues. Sid, what are you telling me?
Oh, right. So I said 2-2 this afternoon, didn't I? I said it's going to be a tough game. I think Arsenal will come out from the blocks because they're at home fans advantage. And I think they'll probably roll into a 2-0 lead in the first 25 minutes because they'll just come at us like they do. And then we'll come back towards the end because we'll bring the subs on 70th minute and then that'll change the game kind of thing. Going back to your previous score lines, it was home wins, whoever's been at home. There's not been a draw in there. And I believe, and I'm still sticking to it, I still believe it's going to be 2-2 because they'll come at us, like I said, they'll take the lead and then we'll come back at them towards the end of the game and then it'll just be like a boxing match, like you said, Gumza, and they'll just you'll have to go to the scorecards on the touchline, you know, and it'll just be a draw. So I think 2-2, and scorers is going to be Harry Kane because he loves scoring against them, doesn't he? Or, you know, at their place, whatever. And the man who's going to stop the party political broadcast, I think Højbjerg's going to get one.
Easy,
because he's playing well.
Yeah, he's scored a couple as well this season. So you know, that's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. I think the interesting thing for this whole game is when we see the lineups, when that hour before the kickoff, who's in the team, you can kind of gauge what sort of formation. If we see Basuma in that team with Bentancur and obviously Højbjerg, we know what we're playing. I just don't know whether Conte's a stubborn manager, but I think he did see the light in that Leicester game. We was at the game, Sid, and we kind of said, "Oh, he's gone 3-5-2," and Son still got his goals, and it was good to see because, you know, although the game could have gone either way, I think we were in control of it in terms of a defensive and in terms of attack as well because we were very clinical. Leicester are shite. Let's not beat around the bush. Leicester are rubbish at the moment, having conceded 22 goals in their games so far. It's terrible out there. So, you know, you can look at it two ways. Leicester, not so great, but they always got Vardy. I hate him, by the way. He just don't like his face.
He's another one.
Yes. I've got to say one thing, though, right? And I don't know if you agree with me or not. We've allowed a lot of teams this season to have possession, have chances. They've created chances against us. Yeah. And if there's one team that I don't want to give them the opportunity and the chances, is these lot. Because I think they've got the players.
Just quickly, Sid, you said we've allowed it like you was in control of that situation. You lot are dead food. That's why teams are creating chances against you. Let's get the terminology correctly. You get me? And as for you, Lloyd,
teams
Sid, I know you like a song. Lloyd, I'm gonna sing for you now, Lloyd. No, come on over to our place. You want to come to my house? Well, you can't be on a long thing in my house. Trust me. My mum's will cause arms else in the house. So you respect my rules when you're in my house. Just remember where you lot are coming.
But we're going to be knocking on Emirates' door. Yeah? Remember that?
This is going to be so tasty. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not gonna
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. That's all I can say to you.
I'm not going to lie. There's something about this game. I can't even sleep when it comes up to this game. I hate it. Like, I actually don't like this game. It's one of them ones I can't even enjoy it. Like, for 90 minutes until if we're on top, it's different. But again, even at 2-0, I see someone said it earlier. At 2-0, I'm not even confident still.
It's not over. Like, it's not over. We've seen games. You go on. Sorry.
I remember the Bentley one. Oh, that killed me. Oh my. Yeah, and it's just Arsenal. We do it quite a bit. Do you know what I mean? Where we throw away these leads, and I can't even sit comfortable at 2-0. I need 4 by half time. Then I can enjoy the game. To be fair, the Nuno game is the first game I was actually watching the game comfortable for 90. Like that weren't the top. That weren't. I'll be honest with you, that weren't Tottenham I'm used to seeing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what happened there, but
say no more.
Yeah.
The name
But
that
yeah,
can't
no,
be
I'm looking
mentioned.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, you guys, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on. And I
It's
will
good
be
to
back,
go.
win, lose or draw Saturday. If you want me there, I can jump on, man. So I'm putting it out there now. So if you don't see me when Arsenal win, it's because these man don't want me on there. Just remember.
No.
Nah.
One thing, if we wanted you to say if you wanted to come on. I didn't want to say, do you want to come on? And then you say, yeah. And then you get beat up and then you kind of say, having to make excuses for you. I didn't want to do that. So
I've
already
got a picture of the BT man fixing the boxes outside my house. So if we don't win, I'm sending that in the WhatsApp group saying, yo, the internet's down, you know, like can't do nothing about it.
I tell you
what will happen is he's already got a helmet, he's already got a jacket on, he's going to run outside, get someone to film it doing it, pretending that he's working on the line, and then he'll come back with the guy's working outside.
I got my high-vis ready. Nah, I'll be here. You know me already. If we get beat, I don't hide from it, man. Like it'll be horrible, but
it's horrible.
End of the day, it's for the love, and I've got so much time for you, man. Honestly, so
thank you very much. And this is why a draw is the best result, because we can still have the banter, and we can still say, well, this happened, and no one's, because if we lose, my weekend's not gonna be nice.
And it's the whole weekend. There's nothing worse than losing at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. It's no worse feeling. The coupon buster, boy, it's nothing worse.
Yeah, because you can't watch match of the day. You can't watch anything. You just feel bad. The whole Sunday's like a write-off as well. So let's just hope. Yeah, a draw will be a fair result. But if there is a victory, either way, I'm sure either of the two team members of Paxton Road or Armory will be making sure the other team knows about it. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case in the WhatsApp groups as well.
100%.
Anyway, Sid, thank you very much. We're on tomorrow. We're going to do a combined 11, are we?
Yes, we are.
That's easy anyway, isn't it? That's quite easy, man.
Listen, I've been on Twitter and I've been on some of these people, the teams that they've been putting out. I'm like, really?
Yeah, them Spurs fans are crazy, boy. They're delusional. I'll be honest.
I agree. Spurs fans, mate. It's the Arsenal fans I'm talking about. They're delusional, man. I'm surprised they've not put David Seaman and Paul Merson in the team as well.
You know what I mean? Who's gonna? That's what I'm saying. Who's BT gonna have on the show? Who are they gonna probably bring on? They don't really have many Arsenal people. BT.
Yeah, we don't really go across that side because we take the big contract with Sky and then things there, in it. Like, we got
and Owen Hargreaves probably.
You might have Peter Crouch from us.
Peter Crouch, Jermaine Genius, doesn't he not? Yeah, he
does. Them low quality pundits, man. Like,
I just
what? You don't deal with BT, innit?
We didn't choose BT.
It is what it is. You know, my guys are on them. We probably have Martin Keown, if I'm honest. I think he knows BT.
Mr. Unbiased Martin Keown,
yeah. Martin Keown. He just can't admit sometimes. Just sometimes Martin Keown just has to tell the truth, but he doesn't like to. He's so Arsenal, he just cannot tell it. That's why I like Wrighty. Wrighty came out and said, he don't like the look of Tottenham this season because boy, you got. But Martin Keown, study Tottenham there. Just, you know what I mean? Just talk your talk, man. Anyway, Gamza, thank you very much.
Appreciate you,
always. It's not too long now. It's not too long. So make sure you like the stream if you did like it. I hope you did. We hope you did. Subscribe to the channel. Go across and also look out for Gamza on TATV, as he's called it on there, if you want to have a bit of a laugh as well. I mean, it's just a bit of a laugh down there. Apart from that, no, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. If you enjoyed this, that is it. Quick shout out to those who are watching. Lloyd Hughes is in there. Kevin Murray, David Clark. Who else is there? Pav, as we talked about. JC in the house as well. Neptune, the Mystic, as always. We've got John Fernandez, Soulful House. There's a few more. Munzi, if you're still knocking about. And our guest from South Korea as well. Great. Make sure you hit that like button and notification bell as well. That is now it. Talk too much. We are going out. Oh,